I don't know if some of you remember seeing this watercolour sketchbook, my wildflowers sketchbook from 2020. I filled it all up with local flowers that I found growing in my neighbourhood, and I have some really wonderful news about some of these florals and where they've ended up. Some of these florals are now on tea towels. I am so thrilled with this. Look at how they've turned out. If we look closely, you'll see that they have done a remarkable job of transferring my watercolour sketch onto this cotton. You will notice that the colour is slightly different because it's part of a set. And that's the thing with art licensing, and if you're selling for home decor, it has to look united. I'll show you the other ones. This is apple blossom, Californian poppies, and lupins. These were all for my client called Tableau, and she is an existing client. She routinely goes through my Instagram feed to look for artwork. If you don't know anything about art licensing or creating products for home decor, very often they are produced in sets for a certain theme. So she's chosen these for her own reasons. If you saw my sketchbook, I've got like 30 flowers, but she's chosen 4 that she thought would sit together within a unit. If they were in the kitchen or if they were in the dining room, would they look good together? The colours have been adjusted slightly, but I don't really mind. She's done it to sell her product, and if it sells, I get royalties. I want to say something about the artwork. It was all scanned. I did not vectorize it. It was a Photoshop file that I sent her. She took it to her printers and they played around with it, and the results I think are absolutely stunning. I'm going to show you the comparison between the sketchbook piece and this tea towel. If we open it up, here is one of them. So it's a lovely cotton that says Tableau, machine wash, cold, tumble dry. Just to emphasize again, I did not vectorize these. I scanned them, I removed the background in Photoshop, and I gave them as a high-res file to my client, and she gave them to her production team. I believe they were in India, and I really love the nuances that have been picked up, like these petals here. The colours have been slightly adjusted, but I'm sure there were various considerations and printing processes that I'm not aware of for her reasoning for this. These are the Californian poppies. These 2 down here, I really love how they filled up that negative space, and it's just great that she took this entire sketchbook layout and put it on a tea towel, and she had the vision to do that, so I'm really grateful to her. One thing I wanted to mention is the amount of Photoshop magic I had to whip up in order to get rid of this guttering area. It's not just on this piece, but for the other tea towels as well. You can see that it's not very noticeable in this area here. I do have a Skillshare class on that, which I'll link in the description below. But you can see where I've had to slightly merge things together, and also a little bit on these edges of the leaves. You can see that I extended them. They stopped quite abruptly here and here, and I've just extended them slightly, again using the magic of Photoshop. The client is called Tableau, and there's the little tag in there. This lady was an offshoot of an existing client that I met in New York several times by Design Design. This is the home decor offshoot. She was introduced to me online by the art director when he left, and we've had a really good relationship since then. So I'm very grateful for having made relationships with manufacturers when I was more into art licensing a few years ago. If you follow me on Instagram, you might recognise this particular sketchbook. It was part of a 30-day challenge that I did on Instagram, and one of the prompts that I gave out was seahorses and whales, and I am very happy to say that this whale, and I believe this seahorse, has now ended up on a tea towel. Here we have the two together. This one is this one here, and I think she's done a really remarkable job of getting all the textures that you see there. Even this little teeny weeny, I don't know what it was, mishap that I did not tidy up when I did the scanning, it's transferred over beautifully. The printing process isn't anything that I'm involved with, but supplying the high-res images, they can do so much with it. And here's the whale. You can see that she did darken actually both of these. It's something that I noticed when I opened up the package. These are actually sample tea towels. I've got a few more that I've ordered for myself that are coming. I think it's really just a trend thing. Most likely this type of blue isn't quite what people are after when they think nautical. It's something you can be mindful of, but as you can see, the manufacturer took it upon herself to just darken it, and I'm fine with that. I want to end by saying that all these artworks that I supplied to the manufacturer came out of personal work. This sketchbook was part of a 30-day challenge that I had on Instagram where I was just doing things for fun. I wasn't thinking about the colour palette or which trend it was trying to capture. And if you're into art licensing, don't think that there is a hard and fast rule about getting into the industry. They come to me because they like what I produce, and I am producing from a place of joy, a place of fun energy, and I think it translates in my work. And I am doing more work with them. So if you think that, oh, I must have a hero piece, I must have a secondary pattern, it doesn't always work like that. So don't think that the industry has very set rules. I don't follow rules very often, and I've done absolutely fine. So I want to end on that note and say, have fun with your pieces, and that energy will always show through.